All right, guys. I debated on whether even to show y'all this, but this is the space that I am going to be working with in the basement. I was down here before. If y'all been around a while, you might know. So I already painted the walls and put up some pegboard. I moved out and the rest of the family obviously moved in. I'm not saying I didn't have any part in this, but my husband inherited this desk. I got to find another place for. We got a new microwave. There's my husband dries his work boots there. All of this is old. The guinea pig died. So I have all these guinea pig habitats that I'm getting rid of. I'm having a yard sale at the store like the last day. So the very first thing I have got to do is clean this out. So I'm going to do a yard sale pile, a donate pile, and a garbage pile because I still have the dumpster at the store. I might as well take advantage of it and use it. So here we are. I'm about to turn this into my dream studio. First thing I gotta do is clean it out. The hard part about cleaning out a space like this is when you take one thing away, you have to find somewhere to put it that isn't also making another mess. So I end up squirreling around a lot, organizing other spaces in the house to fit things that we still need to keep. That microwave, we got a new microwave upstairs that matched our other appliances, so we brought that one to the basement. So I had to clean off the entire counter over there to have a space for the microwave. And all of this here, we had guinea pigs for years and we don't have any anymore. So I am getting rid of all of this stuff. I can't decide if it's too gross to sell at a yard sale or just to throw it in a dumpster, but I'm taking it away from here for sure. And all of this other stuff is just like, I have some wrapping paper stuff there. That's almost an empty box. I had a new computer monitor that never got used, just random things. My husband's boot dryer. I will move it somewhere else, but it's got to be somewhere near a plug. So we'll see about all that. But a lot of this stuff is actually garbage, and it's just taking me going through it piece by piece, getting rid of what I know we don't need, and storing what we do need in other places. I did end up finding another space for this roll top desk here in the basement. It's not a finished basement by any means, but we do have different sections in it. We have a little kitchenette area. We have like a living room area with a TV and the wood fireplace, and just different little areas that we've created. We have a dining set down here. We do all the vegetable canning and stuff like that down here. And my husband also has a little man cave type bar, but it's still really an all open concept basement. And I really don't want to close it in. We're the only ones that come down here, and it's just kind of a family space, I guess you would say. And now I'm actually pretty happy to be back down here in the basement with all of my crafting supplies, because now if I feel like crafting at 7 o'clock at night, I can do it. And I can just go down there and craft for about 30 minutes and then go up and get ready for bed. So I'm actually pretty excited, even though this is a lot of work. It's always exciting to me to be able to organize and create a new space. So I am really excited to get this all done. And of course, there's lots of cleaning as I'm going through and getting all this space cleaned out. Okay, I did it. I got everything cleaned out. I cleaned off this workbench. I used to use this workbench all the time, and it was used for 40 years before me. I mean, actual probably mechanicking. It's sturdy, it's tough, it's not going anywhere. But I am going to paint it. And I'm thinking I need some green in my loft back here. And I also will I think I had something sitting there when I painted and I couldn't get back there. So I need to go ahead and paint that cinder block. Or I may just put solid bookshelves right there. Not much I can do about the water heater. So we'll work around that. And also I have the dehumidifier over here and the freezer. I wanted to put my lockers here and just block this off entirely to make this like its own separate room. And I may still do that. I got to get everything in here and see how it fits. So here's the space we're working with. Still looking pretty yucky. We'll see if we can turn it into a dream craft room. Now all of this has to go in my truck and either to the dumpster or to the store for yard sale. I decided to go with Cottage Colors Juniper because I had a full can open and I wanted a sagey green, so I feel like this is the perfect one. With the Cottage Colors, they do have a built-in sealer, but you really want to give them a good stir. This one just took a ride in the back of the truck from the store, so it's not too bad, but they will separate and that sealer will all go down on the bottom. So you really want to stir it good before you paint with it. I'm gonna roll as much as I can of this. I found a couple of rollers down here. So I'm gonna have to do several coats from the looks of it. So I'm gonna do the whole bench, top and bottom, and I don't know, I might leave the sides black, but I'll probably give it all paint. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do a third coat, but I only have a tiny bit of paint left. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I think I'm just gonna do a third coat on the top and leave the bottom with just 2 coats, because all that's gonna be hidden anyway by the time I put whatever I'm gonna put down there. And it's about 7:30 at night. We just ate dinner. I gotta unload my truck, so I am gonna call that a night and start back again tomorrow. Good morning. Well, I just finished adding, I didn't do a complete third coat because I almost ran out of paint. I have just a tiny bit left, and I'm gonna leave it here in case I wanna do some little, I don't know, accents with it today. It's not perfect, but it's better. And I went to the store and I got these 2 shelves. I have 2 more of these and a white bookcase and the lockers. So I'm probably just gonna have to do like some makeshift walls with this stuff. I can't get them all the way to the wall, so I've got to get some big L brackets to find a way to anchor them. And what I'm doing is just bringing, like, I emptied out these 2 bookshelves and I brought them and all the stuff. So I'm gonna continue to do that all day until I get everything here. Okay, because I'm reusing boxes, instead of making more boxes, I had to empty those out so I can go get another load. And you know, a little pretty inspiration with my journals up here. This is pretty much how I had it at the store. Just rearrange the books a little bit. Okay, I just got back with my second or third load, and I've got these 2. I put them like this, but I think I'm gonna hang a curtain there, and I have these bookshelves that give me lots of storage, and I'm only gonna hang a couple of shelves, maybe. I've got to figure all that out, and then I'm gonna do probably curtains there. But before I start any of those final finishing touches, I have to get all of this unloaded, and I've got bunches of boxes to fill up these 2 shelves. All right, Here we are. I've pretty much got everything here. I have to do a lot of organizing. I brought my rug, table. Right here's where my lockers are going to go. I'm going to cut a board to make a shelf there. And I've still got to make some curtains and hang them. And I also want to try to put those two pictures to hide the crawl space hole there. Now that has to be open. I can't permanently close that up because that's, how we access plumbing issues and everything. So I'm going to get all that done. Off air, you guys are about to see the final reveals. Well, that's it. My new creative craft studio is finally ready, at least ready enough to get started. And honestly, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. I'd really love to know what you think, so be sure to leave me a comment down below. Tell me what's your favorite part, or if you have any organizing ideas for me. I always enjoy reading your comments because so many of you come up with the best ideas. I know it probably looks like I've downsized, and technically I have, but I actually feel like I have a more usable space now. The long workbench gives me much more room to spread out while I'm working, and all the storage underneath is going to make a huge difference. Behind those curtains, I've got plenty of room to tuck away supplies that I don't need sitting out all the time, but they're still easy to get to. And then behind the sewing machine wall, I've actually got a couple more shelving units that you haven't seen yet. Those are going to hold a lot of my overflow supplies, inventory, seasonal items, things like that. So even though this room is smaller than my storefront studio, I really don't feel like I've lost much storage at all. In fact, I think it's going to function even better. Now, don't think this room is completely finished, because if you've watched me for very long, you know my creative spaces are always evolving. Every time I find a better way to organize something, every time I bring in a new piece or discover a better workflow, things change a little bit. That's just part of being creative. Our spaces grow and change right along with us. But I already know one thing. I'm excited to walk down here every morning and get to work. That's a really good feeling. After everything that's changed over the past few weeks, having a space that feels like mine again is actually exactly what I needed. I also hope this video encourages some of you. Maybe you've been putting off creating because you think you need a huge craft room or a fancy studio. The truth is you really don't. This little corner of my basement started out dark, cluttered, and honestly pretty uninspiring. But with a little imagination and elbow grease, a whole lot of organizing, it became a space that makes me so excited to create again. So don't wait till you have the perfect room. Start with the space you have. Sometimes all it takes is looking at it with fresh eyes and asking, how can I make this work for me? You might surprise yourself with what's possible. Thank you all so much for watching and following me along this journey, for always cheering me on. Your encouragement means more to me than you can ever know, especially during this season of my transition. I'm really looking forward to creating lots of new projects in this space, and of course, bringing you along every step of the way. If you enjoyed this makeover, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you hadn't already, and I will see you right back here next week for another project. Until then, happy creating, and I will see you soon.